Hey everybody, Rob Cootie here of the MLM Solution. Today is Wednesday, November 25th. One more day to Thanksgiving. Well, that's going to be a great one. I hope everybody has a great one. As you know, each and every day, Miss Marie and I, we do our live podcast at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and today's subject matter is going to be a good one, and that is getting your legacy position. Getting your legacy position. If you don't know what that means, if you don't know how to do it, you don't want to miss today's episode. It is going to be a powerful one. If you want to know how to look for and make a legacy position happen for you, join us today as we cover that vitally important subject. Please share our podcast and our platforms with our fellow network marketers across the globe. You can do that with hashtag TheMLM Solution, hashtag TheMLM Solution. We'll see you in a moment, guys.
Welcome to the MLM Solution Podcast Show, where you'll learn the facts and hear the truth about the network marketing industry. Here's your host, Rob Cootie.
Hello, Miss Marie. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning to you, sir. I am doing well today. How about yourself? This middle of the week Wednesday we've got going on.
I know we have hump day going on, don't we? And I wore my Hawaiian shirt just for you today because of what you said yesterday.
Well, I appreciate that. And I thought you might do that, so I went with a solid shirt to make sure we don't match today. Because
there we go. All right. We got
2 days in a row was scary enough.
Well, this is what I normally wear almost every day, this shorts and sandals. And I was born to be on the beach, and if it wasn't for my grandkids, that's where I would be. Probably in the Virgin Islands or the British Virgin Islands, U.S. Virgin Islands, maybe Puerto Rico. I'd be somewhere like that. Not Hawaii. Maybe the smaller islands of Hawaii I might do that. You know, someplace secluded where I can be by myself and just sit out there and just enjoy life.
Well,
right?
I grew up in Wisconsin, so sun and sand doesn't agree with me quite as much.
Well, I hate the sand. Absolutely hate the sand. I cannot stand it. I love the beach. I love the sunset, sunrises. And yes, folks, I do go out there. I plop my butt down. I'll have coffee in the morning and margaritas at night. And I'll watch them go up and down. Do it almost every day when I'm on the beach. And I've been to Cancun, Cozumel, been to Iceland beaches. That's interesting. And but I could go on and on and on about beaches. There's a lot of us have been to beaches. Mine's no different, and it's nothing special. The point is that I've enjoyed each and every one of them the same way. Coffee in the morning, margaritas at night. So
It's good to have a routine.
it is good to have a routine. The one thing I hate the most is sand in my house. We used to have a place on Treasure Island in Louisville, and my gosh, I swept all the freaking time. Even when you wash your feet off, Miss Marie, you know, because we had a shower outside. You know, you had a back porch and you had a shower. Almost every place down there has a shower. And so, you know what, you get out there, you wash your feet off, you dry them off, and you try to get in. You sweep the patio to keep as much sand. No, it ain't working. You know, and then you have a rug on the inside that you have to wash every other day because it's full of sand. I mean, it was just constant. Drove me freaking nuts, and I hated it between my toes. Was not a happy camper. You know, now I'll hang out at the pool all day long in Florida, but what good does that do? The whole reason you go is being the beach, right? And if I can't see the bottom, in one of the greatest places that I've ever been is Gulf Shores, Alabama. It's almost like being in the tropics. Beautiful white sand that's soft on your feet. You can go out almost 6-7 feet and still look down and see your feet. Just a beautiful, and it's warm. It's in the Gulf of Mexico. Warm water, just a beautiful experience. Well kept secret. If I keep talking about it, it won't be. But I've been going there for years. And there's no need for me to go to Cozumel, Cancun, and all those other places I used to go anymore because I got one right here in my own backyard. And The Panhandle of Florida is like that in some spots. So there you go, little insider tip.
Very good. And today's show brought to you by the Tourism Board of Alabama and
There you
Florida.
go. There you go. As told by Rob. So I just wanted to bring that up. But anyway, I wore this shirt for you, and this is one of my favorite shirts. And lo and behold, here I am. All right. With that being said, guys, today is November 25th. One more day to Thanksgiving. We're glad to have you guys with us. We had a power-packed episode yesterday, and we're going to, and that's setting the pace was yesterday's episode, which ties directly into what we're talking about here today, getting your legacy position. If you don't know what a legacy position is, if you don't know how to get it, if you don't even know how to recognize it, if you don't understand it, guess what? You're going to learn all that today and more. So stick around to the end, because we're, as you know, we really close out the show very well most of the time. Most of our great content is in the last 10 minutes of the show. Not saying the rest of it's not good. It is, but we really hit our stride as we close, because we're in a hurry to get off and get our drinks. So I'm just kidding, man. Miss Marie don't drink. All right, so
we got to start the Thanksgiving prep today, man. Lots of food to prep and get ready for.
The wife the other day, we got bourbon at Trader Joe's, and as you know, Kentucky, it creates 94% of the world's bourbon right here in Kentucky. A lot of it around Louisville. And so, you know, we're bourbon and whiskey people. There's no doubt about it. Anyway, the long story short, we bought some bourbon at Trader Joe's about 10 days ago. Only that much is left. And the wife goes, "What in the hell are you doing?" I said, "Dad, God, my arm hurts."
It's medicinal.
It's all right. I went to the doctor, and I'm not getting off set. We're only 5 minutes. I'll do it real quick. I go to the doctor, you know, my follow-up, and he looks at my arm and all this and that. He asked a lot of questions. This guy's really good, really sharp. And within the last week, I've really made a lot of progress. You know, we talked about that, blah, blah, blah. Well, he gave me Oxycontin. And I don't see, as we talked about the other day, I don't see how people get addicted to that. It barely affected me. It did take the edge off of the pain. You saw me. I was putting my arm up, and it's done wonderful. And I have 5 of those Oxycontin left. And so we talked and this and that. And he goes, "Well, do you want any more Oxycontin?" I said, "No." I said, "I don't like drugs." And this is coming from a druggie. I did everything from LSD. I didn't do heroin all the way down when I was in the 70s, and I had a ball with it. Okay. But the bottom line is that I will not put anything in my body, as the wife will tell you. She gets so mad at me because I'll suffer to keep from putting anything in my body. So when I take this Oxycontin, I'm like, how do people get addicted to this? It's barely even affected me. And did you know that redheads takes 25% more Novocaine and medication than normal people?
That doesn't surprise me. Most of the redheads I know are pretty stubborn.
Listen to her. All right. So anyway, be careful. I used to date a redhead. Oh my gosh. You can talk about a wild ride. Saddle on that and hold on for dear life, because, boy, that was a wild ride. Anyway, the point is that I told him, and he said, "Do you want any more Oxycontin?" I said, "No." I said, "Look, let's just, if I need it, I'll call you." He said, "It sounds good," because I don't want to take it. To me, I don't see how people get addicted to it. But the reason the bourbon's gone, Miss Maria, I drink the bourbon instead of taking the Oxycontin. And so there you go.
Well, it is over-the-counter medication, right? So.
Well, I mean, it's not like I sit here and I'll have one drink, 1.5 to get the edge off so I can exercise my arm. All right. I'd rather do that than the opioids, right? Yeah. So, yeah, makes the opioids make me a little nervous. Okay, so on to our subject today, getting your legacy position, guys. What does that mean? Well, here's what it means. As we talked about yesterday, as we closed out the show, as we said earlier, and we'll go back to this example really quick because everybody can grasp it. Everybody knows the name of this company and can relate to this company, and it's Amway. Look, Jay Van Andel, Dick DeVos, when they started Amway, decided that they were going to sponsor 500 people between them, 250 apiece. They did that. You can find this on the internet, and you can also find it in their book. I believe they talk about it. So anyway, the bottom line is that they only 5 people of those 500 people stuck around. 495 people quit. Okay, and the $8.8 billion if I'm correct, and today I know it was 8.2 at one time, but I think the latest I heard is 8.8. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But the bottom line is, guys, 8.8 billion goes through those 5 people. Those 5 organizations make up the totality of the distributor force in Amway. And similar stories are told in the Herbalife, Metaluca, Shackley, on and on and on. Okay, all the granddaddy network marketing companies. I can't speak for the new ones because I'm only familiar with the old ones, and I'm not going to act like I know about the new ones. But you would say I could be safe in saying that there are legacy positions in every networking company. Why? Because it's a funnel. Okay, if you imagine in your mind a funnel, what's at the end of a funnel? A real small hole. Okay, based on what you're using the funnel for, but the hole is nowhere near as big as the hole or the opening at the other end of the funnel. So we all know that funnels start out small, and by the time they go down, they're flaring out and they encompass a large volume of liquid. Well, imagine in your mind, a new network marketing company starting out, they're developing a funnel. And the people that get in and get those legacy positions make up the small portion of that funnel. And as the distributor force grows, as the company matures, whether that ends up being 10,000 distributors that have joined the company, or whether it's 100,000 distributors or 200,000 over the years, the thing is that other end of the funnel is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And guess what? Those legacy positions at the beginning of that new company will forever be what they are. Okay. Once they're taken up, the funnel starts its shape. It starts working. Once again, one of these things you'll never hear from the leaders of the industry. That's the reason why. This is the biggest reason why. And I apologize for my phone. Let me turn it off. That is the reason why that the professional business builders, Miss Marie, go to the new companies, is because they understand this. They understand the legacy positions. They understand the wealth that can be created in those legacy positions. They understand the long-term residual income machine that can be developed in those legacy positions. What they don't know is how many of those legacy positions are available, because the size of the company is yet to be determined. So that's why they get in there and they work their tail ends off. Guys, you can never question, unless there's something going on under the table, you can never question the money and lifestyle that those guys that really go out there and build it, that literally put their foot to the pedal and put their foot to the pavement. You can never question the results they get and the money they make. You shouldn't be jealous of it, because they're showing you that it works. You should be celebrated, because when they achieve those goals, just like Randy Schroeder, Randy Gage, Eric War, I have a great respect for all of them, because they all started from ground zero when we were with Agile. And they all started, they didn't bring anybody with them. They all started at ground zero. They built their businesses from the ground up. How can you not admire that and respect that? Okay. You knew that what they built was honest. And what it showed you is that the business model worked. Okay. So even though they could basically call up people and just have them come into them in droves, they decided to build all 3 of them. And that was a wonderful thing, Miss Marie, to witness and be a part of. And that's the way it should be. But the point is, what does that prove? That the business model works, that it's a level playing field no matter who you are. Okay. So the thing is, Miss Marie, when you're looking for these legacy positions, you can't look at a new company and nobody can tell you whether it's going to be 10, 20, 30, or 8. Nobody knows. What you have to, when you and I did that episode, remember we talked about it's positioning, it's timing, not positioning.
Right.
It's important. And that's true here. You said, well, how can a legacy position still not be important? Because look, if Miss Marie is the first one into the company and she sponsors Rob, and Rob's the 8th person in the company, and I don't do anything, but Miss Marie takes off, who's creating a legacy position? She is. As long as she keeps going, and man, she puts her pedal to the metal, and I mean just flat out goes, she's given herself an honest, legitimate chance to develop a legacy position. Even though she's number one in the company coming in, and even though she's working tail end off, guys, that legacy position is still yet to be determined, because somebody else could come in and blow right past her. Somebody else that's number 12 come in and they have contacts out the butt, and they bring some of their people with them, and all of a sudden this person goes crazy, they could blow right past her and take that legacy position. There's no guarantees. It's highly competitive, and it's intense. But the only way that you can have a chance at it, and it's worth going after, is to get into the business as early as you can and go after it. Right, Miss Marie?
Absolutely. And the other thing to keep in mind too is you have to stick with it. We've done episodes in the past talking about never quit, continuing to work your business. I mean, if you look at this example that Rob brought up here, these two gentlemen in Amway brought in 500 people into the business. And how many stuck with it? 5. And did they benefit from that? Absolutely they did. What about the other 495? Did they give up? Did they quit? Did they do it for a while and just let it kind of fritter away? I mean, who knows what happened? But those 5 that stuck with it, and I promise you, they applied consistent and correct business building activities to building their business, built those legacy positions.
Yeah.
So that's something else to consider as well, is sticking with it, not giving up.
That's right. And guys, you have to understand that creating that legacy position is a once in a lifetime. Not every company, I can't sit here and look you in the eye and say 100% that every company has legacy positions. I don't know that. Okay. Because if you have a company that starts today and is out of business within 3 years, there's no legacy positions there. There's important positions. There's the beginning of the funnel, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about 5 people that were with Amway that are still in those, or their family members. Those people, I doubt very seriously, are still alive. But you can will these things on. And guys, if you build a business like this, a legacy position, you get with a financial planner, you get with a lawyer, and you make sure that it is in your will that this will be going to the following, and it can be divided up. It doesn't have to be. The income can go into a trust, and the trust can be divided amongst your family members. And that way that money's constantly flowing into that trust, okay? We're talking huge sums of money. Miss Marie, I can't imagine the sickness and the 495 people have in their stomachs when they look back and realize where they were and where it is today. I would be sick to my stomach. I don't care if I got a pittance of 8.8 billion per year.
Yeah, that would be one of those things you'd look back and regret just a little bit, perhaps.
A little.
But that's another thing you've touched on, Rob, that I think we want to highlight. I don't know that we've ever talked about this in any detail before, but this also has to do with, kind of leaving your legacy in terms of your business. Is you are building a business. It is a saleable asset. It is an asset that can be willed to the next generation of your family. You are building a legacy as well within your business. A lot of people think of a legacy in terms of the reputation and the things, character that they're instilling in their families, but that involves his business as well. So it's another reason, another motivator for a lot of people to build their business large, is not only to build that income, create that time freedom to spend with their family now, but they're building for the future of their children and their grandchildren as well. And I can tell you, those folks who got on early in Amway, because Amway started, the 50s, 60s, we're potentially into the generation of their grandchildren now, who are benefiting from the fact that they were able to snag that legacy position, put in the time and effort to build it into the successful business that it was, and pass that down to their children, and now potentially to their grandchildren. Yeah. So that's something to think about too, in terms of the positioning of your business, and also getting yourself motivated and inspired on those days when you're dragging a little bit and you just don't feel like doing the business. Yeah. It's a much larger picture than how you feel today.
Yeah, exactly. Well put. I like that. Just real quick, before I do this, guys, there's a difference between the wealth that we talk about and legacy positions. They're not even comparable. creating wealth is a short-term ability for you over a 3-year period, maybe a 5-year period with a new company to create wealth that can change your life. A legacy position is life-changing for generations. Okay, so let's make sure you understand the difference between the two. With that being said, Miss Marie and I need to bring this up real quick. We are having our Black Friday sale like everybody else. It's going to go on between now and the end of the year. If you go to this page right here, TheMLMsolution.net/Super Friday. Once again, TheMLMsolution.net/Super Friday. You are going to have the ability to get our Super Pack, the 5 Simple Steps Super Pack, which includes everything that you need to build your business. What is the difference between that and the 5 Simple Steps business building system we have? The 5 Simple Steps business building system is much more in depth and includes the 4 phases of the business building process, includes advanced techniques. Some of you may not be ready for that. So we created the Super Pack, which allows new people or retreads to tap into this knowledge and know that they're using the right information to build their business. And you can use that now and use it to build momentum before the end of the year. You want to take advantage of this. It's a limited time offer, our Black Friday special. So I wanted to bring that up, and we'll bring it up one more time before we get off with the show here. All right, Miss Marie. So with that being said, as I said, you guys have to realize there is a difference between a legacy position and wealth, okay? Those are both great things, and they both happen at the beginning phases of a company. And I want to make it clear, if you're going to create wealth, let's not talk about the legacy position for a moment. Let's focus on the wealth, because that's life-changing as well. But it's life-changing in a short time frame, say in a 3 to 10 year period, okay? In other words, you could lose that money in 10 years. You could take it and advance your life. It could end up being a short-term thing, but you're creating wealth, and that wealth can change your life, okay? But when you're talking about a legacy position, it's far beyond the wealth point. Now, here's the point I want to make between the two, and the wealth first. With the wealth capabilities, you have a chance to catch a company that's a year old, knowing that you have another 2 years, typically, before a company gets into a danger zone where 90% of the businesses go out within the first 5 years. That's where we talked about the hokey pokey, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Go back and listen to that episode. When you reach the 3-year mark with a new company, you got to kind of keep your ears open and keep 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I'm not going to highlight the details of that, okay? But if you come into this new company after it's been around for a year, your butt's against the wall. You have to get your butt going now. And then really the only thing that you can do here is create wealth, which is great. I mean, you can make millions. You could make over a 2-year period, $2-3 million, maybe more, based on the company, the growth, the expansion, the product. You don't know where it's going to go. But what if you made $800,000 to $2 million over that 2-year period? Would that not be life-changing? Would that not be wealth in your determination? Because look, there's a difference, and really I should say rich, Miss Marie, because there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. Typically, rich means that you have hundreds of thousands of dollars, okay? Wealth really doesn't start, Miss Marie, until you're past $3 or $4 million. And really wealthy people laugh at you if you talk about, well, I got $3 or $4 million. Oh, okay. I mean, that's nothing to them. It's almost pocket change. But for the average person, and I don't mean average in intelligence and abilities, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about the average person, the normal person that works, has a good work ethic and is level-headed and doesn't have their head in the clouds. That is a normal person that is looking for a way to better their financial situation. That kind of money can be life-changing, okay? And that kind of money you could use the label of wealth, okay? I have a different definition of wealth. It doesn't always mean monetary or material things, but it does include as a total picture. And to me, anything over 10 million starts to get into the wealth category. But okay, that doesn't mean that wealth is not different for somebody else. That's the reason why I use that term. Rich is in the hundreds of thousands. And I just want to make that clear, because in a network marketing new company, you have a chance to create wealth. Okay, and I also mean that you can take the money that we talk about and you can invest that and create even more money. So you could reach the wealth level of 10 million or more, okay, through real estate, through gold, silver, whatever. You determine that. So can this be a wealth generating possibility? Yes. And you can come into a new company within the first year, maybe 14 months, and still have the ability to create that wealth. So does that make sense, Miss Marie?
Yeah, it absolutely does. And again, part of it is getting the timing right. And that's one of the things we talk about in our trainings. We've talked about it in previous episodes, and those are more information we have available on our website for you as well.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, one of the most important documents that we have, Miss Marie, is Timing is Everything. It talks about that timing. And if you don't know, what company, and we talk about all the time, we're not going to get off subject here, but here's the thing. It's the same amount of effort, time, commitment, and everything else to build a business in a new company as it is an old company. So if you're going to take all the steps that are necessary to be successful in this business, why not make as much money as you possibly can, as quick as you can? Well, guess what? Timing has everything to do with it. There it is. Timing is everything. Don't miss out on an opportunity of a lifetime. You couldn't say it any better. That's exactly what it is. Okay. And it's not positioning. Get away from that number. I'm number 2 in the company. I was number 10 to join. If you don't take any action, and if you take a half-ass action, guess what? If you don't set the pace like we talked about yesterday, it doesn't matter. The only thing you can brag about is that you were number 10. So what? What did you get out of it? Okay. So, and I'm going to tell you that as the company matures, that number 10 becomes less and less important and becomes less relevant. Why? Because the money is passing you by. You've left all this money on the table. And Miss Marie, what ends up happening, the company, just like you and I, we don't know when that end is near. Everything is finite, not infinite. Okay. And so a company knows it has a lifespan, just like anything else. They just don't know if it's 100 years or if it's 10 years or if it's 5 years. They get up every day and they work towards their goals, and that's all they can do. But here's the thing, guys. In a situation like this, knowing that, why not take action now before it's too late? And as the company matures, guess what you're doing? That number 10 slot you have is going to become irrelevant because you can't go back in time and capture that momentum and capture that excitement and capture the money that has passed you by. All you can do now is ride the coattails of what's left. So that number 10 position did nothing for you. Okay. And some of the people that were in your downline may have left, gone to other companies, which have further hurt your abilities to earn money. Now you got a number 10 position and you're making $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month, 20. That might change your life, and that's great. It's awesome. But it's nothing compared to what it could be. Could have been $250,000 a month. Literally. I've known people to make that kind of money more than once. Believe me.
And it always comes back to what I'm always harping on, right? You have to take action. You have to put in the effort. You can have the perfect timing. You can come in the perfect position, even though that's not as relevant. You can have the best system. You can know everything you need to know. But if you don't do something with it, if you don't take the action and make the move and put in the effort, it's not going to do you any good.
Nope. Okay, that's right. All right, so now back to the legacy position, since we clarified the wealth, because I wanted to make sure that you didn't confuse the two. They're clearly different, as you can see. Legacy position and what we're talking about here. Look, legacy positioning becomes a little more important. It's not about the brag about number 2, that you're number 2 in the business or the company. What it is a professional business builder. If Miss Marie and I decide to come back to the industry and we find a company that has the 5 things a company must have, and a new company, let me make that clear, must have in order to have a chance to do something special. And Miss Marie and I obviously know how to build a business. We realize that we have a possibility. It's not the reason we go in. Here's our number 1 mindset: wealth. We're here to create wealth, because that's more realistic than a legacy position. Why do we not think about the legacy position? Because that is something that happens as a company matures. Okay, and that's what you hope, is that it goes past that 5-year mark, goes into the 7-year mark, because then your legacy position becomes really important. And now you're talking crazy, stupid money. You're talking 200, $500,000 a month. Okay, and that is no joke. Okay, but you got to be there at the right time and take action, massive action, because you, just like Richard called, Miss Marie, how much do you think he's making? You know how the business works. Just hearing the name of Richard Call, we use him all the time because I'm really familiar with him. Bill Britt falls in that category. Dexter Yeager, I'm leaving a lot of great leaders out. All of these people fall in the same category. And what does that mean? They were at the head, and they were at the genesis, and they took massive action, which meant that there's a funnel. You started out small as the funnel, which is nothing more than the distributor force, starting out this small and getting bigger. Guess where all that volume flowed? It flows up. Well, how big is that funnel? Well, however many people, if there's the first 100 people that came into the business, and if out of those first 100 people, only 20 stuck around, guess what? The end of that the small end of that funnel is only 20 people. Okay? All that volume is going through 20 people, because those 20 people did what? They took massive action, consistent, correct business building activity in a massive way. That is no joke. And what happens is, Miss Ray, sometimes out of those 20 people, only 3, maybe 5, maybe 7 actually take massive action. The others are kind of riding the coattail. They didn't take they took big action. Don't get me wrong, but they didn't take massive action. Does that make sense?
Yep, sure does.
Yeah. And so it's a dividing line. The work ethic and the commitment is the dividing line between those that achieve it and those that don't. And it's a fine line, I'm telling you. Really what it boils down to, Miss Marie, is who sponsors the most progressive, the most aggressive, the most committed leaders. That's what it boils down to. The more aggressive leaders that are building your businesses. I tell you all the time that Richard Call, and this is written in the books, I've got the books right here, possibly he assembled the greatest leadership of all time in network marketing. Okay, now I can't dispute that, but the experts that wrote and investigated this industry for many years and wrote stories about Richard Call said that his assembly of those leaders were the greatest they'd ever seen. What did that tell you about the business he built? That it was massive and it was creating huge sums of volume. Why? Because these leaders were going crazy. They were building their own massive activity. Okay. And he had a bunch of people that were doing massive activity. Why? Because he set the pace. We talked about that yesterday, didn't we, Miss Mary? He worked his man off.
Well, and a lot of it had to do with the recruiting and the prospecting, sifting through the people, looking for those leaders, working with those leaders, the process of duplication, implementing a system that works. These are all different things we've actually done at different episodes on. So you can go back and dive deeper into some of those subjects, but it all comes together into building that legacy position.
Yeah, it does. And the reason we're talking about the legacy position is because the legacy position applies, as well as the wealth capabilities, to new people as well as it does retreads. It's not just for advanced people. To be honest with you, advanced people that have already built a business now and they're with a company now, they're listening to us through our podcasts and our videos, whatever, their legacy positions are not available. Okay, yeah, they might have a nice income, 10, 20, 30,000 a month, and that's awesome. There is no knocking that. And, they should be very proud of what they have accomplished, but it's not a legacy position, guys. Where the legacy positions are hundreds of thousands per month, okay? And yes, it is possible, and it happens all the time. Believe it or not, it happens a lot in network marketing. Okay, some people do it by mistake, some people do it by design. Miss Marie and I, if we were to come back into business, we would do it by design if we were able to accomplish it. We understand the odds. The odds are small. What is our number one goal? What is our responsibility to ourselves? Regardless of whether we want a legacy position or not, we know we have to take massive action. We're going to do that because of our work ethic, because we understand the business model. And guess what? It's all a numbers game. If you notice, I was talking about numbers that whole time. The numbers are going to work for you or against you. In order for the numbers to work with you, you got to get in and take massive action. Okay? In order for you to be one of those 5 people in Amway, you got to get in and take massive action. Okay, you had to put yourself in a position where life said you are the winner. Okay, It just doesn't happen. It doesn't, you just can't sit there and smoke on a cigar and say, I'm going to get it. The bottom line is people work their tail ends off to get in a position to where at the end of the day, they own one of those positions. So Miss Marie and I would put ourselves, because of our understanding of the business, understanding the numbers, and our work ethic, we would say, okay, you know what? If the legacy position happens, that's awesome. But I know that it's all based on work. I'm going to get out there and I'm going to work my tail end off. And I'm going to give it my all so that even if I don't get a legacy position, it won't be because it didn't try. It won't be because it didn't do what I'm supposed to do. I can look back satisfied in my heart saying, you know what? I gave it 100%. And so what? It didn't work out. I still made millions of dollars. Okay. Right, Miss Marie?
Well, and that's the key there. You may not achieve the legacy position, but you can still build a wealth building legacy business for your family. There's definitely a difference there, but there's still huge potential. Again, that's the whole idea of shooting for the moon and you may just end up on the mountaintop, right?
That's exactly right.
You got to set the goals high and take the action.
That's right. And that's the reason why Miss Marie and I all the time advocate, take massive action, get out there, shoot for the moon. Okay? Because you never know where the company's going to end up. You never know where you're going to end up. And with the one thing I never want to do, and I've done it, as I got older and learned about life and learned about myself and my capabilities and stuff and learned about hard for one thing, here's the thing, guys. I always wanted to be satisfied. I wanted to look back and say, hey, thank you guys for the thumbs up. We really appreciate that. That's awesome. But guys, we wanted to look back and say, you know what? I gave it my all. I used every bit of my talent and my abilities and my time. I'm satisfied. And Miss Marie, there's a lot of things in my life that I can say I'm satisfied about, but it was the things that I'm not satisfied about that motivates me to this day to work the way I do, even at my age, because I don't want to go to my grave not leaving things on the table. I want to do the best I can, and I want to put my best foot forward, and I want to be committed to that. And so, guys, it's the same thing here. You got to realize you have a small window. Look, life passes by so fast and life changes on a dime. There's no guarantee that if you join a new company that there will not be a life-changing event that will come into your life within that first year. Why not get in there and get it over with like Richard Call did in case that life-changing event comes your way, whether it's you personally or someone in your family or someone you love, and be in a position where you could be there for them, where you can afford to help them be taken care of, whether you have to hire somebody or pay for the procedures, whatever. That would be the greatest legacy you could leave, is having an impact on somebody like that, even if you're not able to have the cars and the homes. Okay? That is more important to me than any cars or homes, being able to take care of my family, not only my wife and I and the animals, but my extended family. So, you know, the money is great because it gives me options. We talk about that all the time. Guys, create the money that will give you the options in life. That's one of the greatest rewards you can ever have, regardless of what industry you choose.
Yep, I agree. You can't find a better opportunity than the network marketing business. And if you can manage to get into a company with the right timing, put in the time and effort and build that business, you can create a legacy for your family.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's as simple, guys, as just taking action. Consistent, correct business building activity. We talk about it all the time. I'm telling you guys, we teach you the basics. We keep it simple. 5 simple steps to networking success. If you get the first 90 days right, you apply the Richard Call work ethic, guys, you are almost going to be unbeatable. It really won't matter what company you join, as long as it has a fair and equitable pay plan. Okay, that's the bottom line. And as we tell you guys, all of this works together. Let me see if I can raise my hand. Yep, it's swollen, but I got it up there. Okay, guys, I do that because for all you on the podcast, I mesh my fingers together to show how it all works together. We talk about all these things and we connect the dots because you got to understand, you can have consistent, correct business building activity and not have a pay plan that will pay you. You're wasting your time. Okay, you could be out there and have a great comp plan and not follow our 5 simple steps. That comp plan is not going to do you any good. Okay, why? Because
yep, exactly. You've got to have the fundamentals in place. You've got to have the company at the right time. You've got to have the compensation plan that is going to pay you well. And you need to leverage those consistent and correct business building activities.
Yep, exactly. And the thing is, guys, you got to have, everything has to mesh together. That's the reason why we we connect all the dots, so that you understand that you could be doing a portion right, and you might say to yourself, well, I don't need to do this. Rod and Reed talk about that, and they promote that, but I'm not going to worry about that. Guess what? You're just sabotaging your own success. You might have a great opportunity at your feet where you could create maybe a legacy position, at the very least, possibly wealth, and you're going to goof off and leave something out because you don't agree with our viewpoints. And as you know, our viewpoints, we don't care whether you believe us or not. We don't care if you use it. We don't know any better. You go out there and start building your business today, we have no idea. We promote it because of the fact that it makes up the very foundation of the business building process. It's been around for 60 plus years. Okay. It has created these principles, methods, and strategies that are in the 5 simple steps are responsible for creating some of the greatest lifestyles and some of the greatest incomes in history. Okay. So the success can't be argued. And we don't, once again, it's no skin off our nose. We don't get paid from you guys if you use the system. Okay. And we've given you more than enough on our YouTube channel and our podcast to where if you never became a member, you would still benefit from the information and know how to make this business go. The problem is that when you run into problems, where do you go to get the answers, how to overcome these things? There's only one place, right here, because nobody talks about the things we talk about. Nobody covers that subject matter. And we do that so that you know that you can trust us. We do that so that you are empowered to do great things. And that's the reason why we touch on those things. We don't just try to come up with subject every day. We say, is this relevant to success? And then Miss Marie does a wonderful job. I take no credit. She's the one who comes up with the schedule. And she does a wonderful job. And she tries to make them in chronological order so that when you go and listen, you can tie them together yourself. You can connect one dot to the other. So there you go. So with that being said, Miss Marie, we're at the 42-minute mark. I'm going to do this real quick. As we talked about earlier, guys, we are starting our Black Friday sale today. If you go there, TheMLM-solution.net Super Friday, TheMLM-solution.net/Super Friday. Guys, if you go there, you're going to be exposed to the Super Pack. It is for everybody outside of the advanced people. It is our 5 simple steps business building system that covers everything, all 4 phases of the business building process, including all the advanced stuff. But this is for people that are retreads. This is for people that are new people. Maybe somebody's in right now and only been in a month or so. They're looking for direction. They're trying to understand how this business model works. Guys, you're going to have all the videos, all the documents, all the audio that you could possibly need. There will be, starting next year, live training classes that Miss Marie and I will be providing for our members, where you will have the ability to learn firsthand live on how some of this stuff works. So there's a lot of great benefits to what's happening in our business, the MLM solution. That's what I was trying to look for. Okay, I was tongue-tied there, but I just it went blank. The point is, guys, no place offers what we do at the MLM solution. All right, and if you go to if you just go to the main page, TheMLM-solution.net, you'll see a Black Friday link there. It'll take you to the special as well. It is a limited time offer, so do not waste this opportunity to save money and get access to this wonderful information. All right, Miss Marie, I think we covered everything really well. We're at the 44-minute mark. Our goal is 35 to 45 minutes each day. Every once in a while, we go over a little bit, but not on purpose. So you have anything to add to the legacy position?
Nope, I think we covered it really well. And again, this is information you're not going to find anywhere else. Be sure to share it with your downline. It's all about duplication, building that success into your business, and share with our fellow network marketers around the world. So give us a thumbs up if you like what you hear, you understand the points we're making. Feel free to like, comment, and share across all our social media platforms. You can always find us by searching hashtag TheMLM Solution. And then, of course, as Rob said, head over to our website, TheMLMsolution.net, and snap up that Black Friday special while it's available.
Yep, and if you will, please go to our YouTube channel, Facebook page, and like, share, comment. Let our fellow network marketers know by sharing about our platforms as well as our information. We want to have a positive impact on the network marketing industry across the world. You can help us make that happen, and we need your help. We cannot do it on our own, and we're grateful because you guys are in fact doing that. We are so blessed. I was telling Marie before the show how the numbers are really picking up on all of our platforms. I know I've said that before, but it is. And I've been very pleasantly surprised. And once again, it's flattering. So if you will, go to our, when you go to the YouTube channel, as you know, you hit the little bell twice in order to be notified when we upload content or go live. Also hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it if you do. Help us get the word out, guys. We really want to make this thing go for you guys. Once again, we have proven we are the only ones that are willing to talk everything network marketing. So with that being said, Miss Marie, tomorrow's episode is going to be a good one. Yes, we will be here 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we sit down with our families, we will be spending time with you. And it's going to be diminishing returns. Once again, it's tied into the last 2 days. Yesterday, setting the pace. Today, getting your legacy position. Guess what? Tomorrow is about diminishing returns. You do not want to be a part of diminishing returns. Okay. And there's a number of different ways to go on that. We're going to touch on those different ways. And there's also, at the end of the business building process, a diminishing return. If you don't know what that is, you're going to be wasting your valuable time on some activity that's not going to reap you any benefits. Do not want to miss that. So be with us tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And once again, be careful. God bless. We look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Thank you all for everything. Miss Marie, with that, I'm out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m.
Thank you for listening to the MLM Solution Podcast. For more info, visit our website, TheMLMsolution.net. Please follow us on the following platforms: Facebook, YouTube, etc. And share this podcast with our fellow network marketers around the world by hitting the share button on our various platforms.